And welcome back to Lynn and Marius at Magpie Farm. On this midweek video, you may recall from the weekend video that we had a lot of wood come from the forest. Well, on this week's video, we're actually going to be preparing that wood for this winter and for next winter. And the reason is for both winters is because some of it's good enough to be burnt now, others it's for next year. Also, we'll be checking in on the polytunnel as I prepare our pepper plants for overwintering. Fingers crossed and hopefully. Well, welcome back, and this week we've been prepping the pepper plants in the polytunnel for overwintering. So it's the first time I've done this. So what we've done is on 2 counts, cut them, some of them taller and some of them shorter. And no doubt by next spring we'll have a result one way or another. And as you can see, what I'm basically doing here is cutting all the growth back till it gets to the spur of the plant. That's basically where the plant branches off with new growth. And that's the reason why some of the plants get cut back more or less to the ground and some end up a lot taller. That's because the growth spurts from when they initially growed is actually closer to the ground. I don't know if that'll make a significant difference. We will wait and see, as they say, until it gets to that point. I also remove then any dead foliage and even any new growth that appears to be coming out. And there was a few of them, surprisingly, where new growth was starting to come, to give them basically the best opportunity to get through the winter. Additionally then, I do place down some straw and some mulch, A, to give them a bit of nutrition, and B, to stave off any frost that may occur. I've also done the same to a number of pepper plants that I had in pots that I've brought into the house, and hopefully they'll survive by doing the same sort of process with them. The plan is, if these do actually survive, they're going to give a good head start come the spring, and there should be new growth spurts coming from them. And additionally, we will also be putting in some new pepper plants. I want to try maybe 3 or 4 different varieties as well this year. I have been told though not to plant them too close together because they will cross-pollinate. That is something I did not know, and I was told that by a friend of mine in the UK. So that's worth thinking about if you are having multiple pepper plants, unless of course you don't mind them cross-pollinated. But we will see how we get on, and we'll revisit this then come the spring. And as you can see from this short clip I hear, they do vary quite significantly in size, but I'm not sure whether that'll make a difference or not. We will wait and see. And welcome back, and now's the time where we start sorting out our wood. This is our wood for 2021 and 2022. It's not very often I get to use the chainsaw. This is Marius's man toy, as they call it. done. I will say this, I've done a lot of it on my own, but then Mariusz works. So he doesn't exactly have a lot of time to do it, but he cut up a lot of it ready for me to chop and stack. And this is just a small fraction of the wood we've actually got for this coming year and for the following year. Later on in the video I show you how we sort of determine which we can use this year and which we can't. It's all to do with the moisture of the wood. No, I'm afraid I don't have a license for this hatchet. Not that you actually need one, but Mariusz has suggested in the past maybe they should fetch them in because I'm not exactly the safest, he says. Messaged us after last week's video asking was it all above board us getting the wood from the forest. Absolutely yes. As you can see on your screen now, there's a little tag attached to some pieces of wood. Basically the process is through the year Mariusz, myself and the neighbour have been collecting wood in the forest that had fallen from trees that had fallen down in that, chopping it up, putting it into large piles. And then basically what we do is we get permission from the forester, we pay them a fee, and that allows us then to collect the wood. The wood for the most part is oak. So it's pretty good. And it's a very cheap and cost-effective way of doing it. The amount of wood that we've gathered individually and collectively would have probably cost in the region of around £500, £600, £700. Probably even more. Currently, oak is going for, in Poland, in the local area, around 270 zloty, which is approximately £55 per square cubic meter. We've probably added at least 10 to 15 square cubic meters worth of wood, and so has the neighbour additionally. So we've probably saved a substantial amount of money. Yes, it is dirty work, it is hard work, but
at the end of the day, I think it's ticks all the boxes for us. It's sustainable. We're getting wood that would literally just be rotting on the ground. And secondly, it's very cost effective for us and costs us a fraction of the price it would be if we was to buy this thing commercially. And yes, we are having a heating system installed, an Eco-P heating system installed that we wouldn't be able to use the wood in. But the idea behind that is that the wood that we have will be used in the autumn and the spring. So if it's not too cold, then we'll just use the wood burner in the living room and an additional wood burner that we're putting in the dining room to heat the majority of the house with. Obviously, when it does get quite cold and we need to heat the upstairs as well substantially, then we will use the Eco-P system as we've shown you last week. But I like the fact, and Mariusz likes the fact, that we have a number of different heating systems that we can pull on when we need to. We're not just reliant. So if the price of coal goes through the absolute roof, we've got options. So as you can see from the wood I've just shown you, we have got an awful lot left. And basically, that's cost us, between us and the neighbours, around £40–50. Probably slightly more when we add in fuel of the tractor, moving it back and forth from the forest. Even if it went up to £100, this amount of wood alone, when it's all chopped up and stacked, we'd be paying in the region of £600–700 for easily. I thought it'd be less than that, but no, it's going to be around £600–700. So we've made a substantial saving. And of course, not only that, we've helped out our local neighbours, which is always good for brownie points. Hi and welcome back. So this is our moisture meter. Basically, what we're looking for is any wood that is between 10 and 20%. Lower, the better. So this is some wood that feels heavy. So it probably isn't, or very close to. So as you can see, that's 21.2. So it's not that far from actually being ready. Another piece of wood, that's even more, that's 48.3. But that's because that's the soft outer. If we look at it there, 22.2. So that's some of the wood that isn't quite ready. That's why it's stacked there. Now, some of this wood over here should be substantially lower. Should be, but it isn't. That's 27.5. But when you go to the end, it's 9.1. So that would be fine. So let's test another piece. Have a look like this. Oh. Okay, so this feels a little bit heavy, but again, 22.5 and 24.5. So that's not quite ready yet, but it's getting to the point that it will be. And they're probably 2 months away, so come the worst time of the winter, even this wood will be more or less ready to burn. So let's have a look at some wood now that is more or less near perfect ready. So let's have a look at a piece of wood here. As you can see, 14.1. 14.5. Ideal for burning. And that's oak. Let's find another piece here. This may be 17. Oh, up to 21. So it would just about be okay, but I would prefer it to be lower. Let's have a look at this piece right here. And again, see, that's not quite ready. 24.5. Well, a lot of the wood up here is more or less ready. Let's have a look at this one. 18.6. And 16.1 there. So just to give you an example as well, so this is the wood that we got from the forest. Some of it been laying for maybe 2 years. So it's just the outer edges of it that's actually damp, but it has been stacked. And the longer this is stacked, the drier it'll become. But we're going to go over there now and look at a piece of wood that has been here for quite a while. We're actually using for poles to put fencing up to get an idea. Okay, so these are poles that, no pun intended, that will be going in the ground at some point. So just to give you an idea, so on the back we've got around 18.1, and on the end we've got 13.8, because the back, because it's porous, always tends to be and hold a bit more moisture. So hopefully that gives you an idea. These are invaluable if you're burning wood, because the problem you'll get if you burn wood that isn't ready is you'll get a lot of smoke, you won't get a lot of heat. So I hope you enjoyed that explanation, and I hope you enjoyed this midweek video. So until this weekend, have a great week from Lynn and Mariusz at Magpie Farm.